quickest approach to do this question is actually to keep tabs on how many questions Gil has actually answered. So let's say they've answered one question. Obviously, they can answer more than one. Then it would have taken 1 second. If they've answered two questions, it's going to take 1 + 2 seconds because it's doubling every time. So actually, we've got three. Three questions, it would be 1 + 2 + 4, which gives 7. And then we add 8 on to give 15, and so on. And we're interested, because there's an hour to do it, we want to get up to 60 times 60, so 60 minutes times 60, because there's 60 seconds in a minute, 3,600 seconds. That's how long Gil has to do this challenge. And what you might notice is that each of these is actually one less than the power of 2. As I'm writing down my powers of 2, every time this is one less. So we could maybe work out all of our powers of 2 and find the one that gets close to 3,600. A really good one to know actually is 2 to the power 10, which is 1,024. So I'm going to go straight to that one. So as you can see, this number here is actually 2 to the power 4 minus 1. For my nth question, I'm going to get 2 to the power n minus 1. So that means for my 10th question, I'll be on 1,023. And then 2 to the 11 would be 2,048. So that would be question 11, would be 2,047. And question 12, I'm going to go above it because I double it again. I'm going to go above 3,600, which means that Gil must have answered the first 11 questions correctly and then not actually had time for question number 12. So there are five, it says the same as this year's system. So you get 5 marks for all the questions from 1 to 15. Because Gil answered 1 to 11 correctly, we don't need to think about getting like them being, actually the later ones aren't worth more anyway. They're all worth 5 and they got them all right. So it's going to be 5 times 11, giving an answer of 55. Another approach to this question, I do want to talk about it, is just to talk about how long it took to do each question. So a different approach. So for question 1, it took 1 second. For question 2, it took 2 seconds. Question 3, 4, and so on. Yeah, and we can kind of, actually, I'm going to keep writing them down. You can see these numbers are still quite small. We've still got this in the back of our minds. Remember, this is for two questions, it's actually 2 to the power 1. It's always one less than the number. So this is 2 to the 10 still, as I talked about before. And then question 12 would be 2048. So you can then sort of just think about adding them up, or at least estimating it. You can very quickly see that if you add up these four, we're going to get above 3,600. That 2,000 just takes us too far. Whereas if you just add up these numbers, you can see it's going to be less than 3,600 for sure. So that is another way, without actually adding them up, of realizing that actually it must have been 11 questions that were answered correctly, and then the 12th one was not completed. Okay, well done on this challenge. Keep going.